a little late for Boys Planet episode 3 thoughts. I did not have time to finish watching it until today. It's a Tuesday, the same day I'll probably see the video, but I had a busy social weekend after work, so I didn't have time to finish watching the episode. But here we are. Loved this episode. It was a lot better than the last week's episode. It was giving me tired. But anyways, finally the show is starting to heat up after the first 2 episodes, and one beautiful Hwang Min-hyun has finally started showing his face, and it was giving all that needed to be gave. The boys finished the rest of the final tests, and surprise, surprise, K-Group had more stars overall. I mean, are we really shocked that this happened? Anyways, they get to see the giant stage for the Here I Am performance, and it was revealed that Song Hanbin, we been new, but you know, is going to be the center of the song and was chosen between himself and Jung Hao. All stars are near the top and everyone trickles down to the bottom where the 0 stars are standing on the floor. They were upset. I would be too, but you know, it's life. They did not spend too much time on this part and moved quickly on to the K versus G group million seller song battle. In the respected corners, we have Ajunice, Kill This Love, Hot Sauce, okay, Burn It Up, iconic, but I think energetic would have been more legendary in my opinion. But anyways, it is neither here nor there. I didn't get to choose. Love Me Right, ooh, Danger, unexpected choice, but I respect it. And Backdoor, the trainees with the highest individual fan cams from the Here I Am performance from K and G groups gets to choose their teams, and whoever's left forms the last 2 teams for both K and G. Hui is the start with his Avengers team, and K-Ta also had a very strong Avengers-like team. But see, nobody really said that any of the G groups were Avengers, and I feel like that should have been talked about, because there was definitely some groups that could have been the G group Avengers, but all they had to say was Hotek's team was the Avengers. Anyways, we're never not going to have an Avengers moment on any of these survival shows, so let's all pretend we're surprised that the strongest trainees get selected first, leaving the ones we don't even see, because Mnet doesn't care about them, to form their groups by default. Surprisingly though, Park Gunuk was not chosen in the first initial teams, even though he was an all-star. Anyways, more on him afterwards. Mnet, what goes on? Because I don't know. Teams are formed and they get to choose their song and head to the respective training room to see who they'll be up against. So we go into practices, parts being divided. So K group, Kill This Love. Hwani was next in line to form his team and was immediately bombarded by Park Gunuk, who had a clear idea of who he wanted, how he wanted to be done, and that he would be the savior of the broken and the damned. Mnet is clearly in love with him from the amount of screen time, but it's not working for me. It's not working for me because it's not coming off in a way that makes him likable in my viewing eyes. I feel like he's coming off extremely bossy, overly authoritative, and when he's not the leader of the group, and it persisted that way throughout the episode. I'm sure he's a great person and he's very skilled. We can all agree he's very skilled, but the way Mnet is going about showcasing him is not putting him in a positive light for me, emphasis on for me. I feel like they want us to like him, but the way that he came off in the episode did not sit right with me, because it was not giving someone that is very likable, because he was taking charge, overly bossy, and really Kill This Love's K-group performance was the Park Gunuk show. Burn It Up teams are both a mess of little confidence and lack of people to cover the parts that needed to be covered. Nobody else volunteered for the main vocal for the G group, and it was given to that shaky, out-of-tune, off-tempo, hot performer from episode 1. I don't know how it's gonna play out. Yeah, we'll see. Mnet's big dramatic moment though. Let's talk about it. G group's back door with Na Kamden as the leader with all the other like Chinese trainees. Mnet hates Chinese trainees confirmed, but anyways, we can't edit the episode how we want to see it, so we have to watch what Mnet says they want to show. The way it was shown was Camden was trying to ask people things, but the rest were over talking or speaking in Chinese, leaving him out because he does not speak Chinese at all. He only speaks English and Korean. Christian was seen translating, but from the way it was shown in the episode, it felt like Camden couldn't finish his sentences before Christian interrupted him. It was drama. We'll probably never know how it truly went down, but Mnet did a good job of making Christian look like the bad guy. So if that's what they were trying to accomplish, they succeeded there. I'm conflicted on it because I've seen people on Twitter sticking up for both sides, saying it's Mnet up to their usual tricks and antics, but then other people were like, he wasn't translating exactly what Camden was trying to ask. And I mean, how, from the way it was shown to us in the episode, how could he really translate properly what Camden was saying if he kept cutting Camden off before he could even finish a damn sentence? It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. We'll see how it turns out in this week's episode. No surprise that Hotuk was going to be the main vocal for K group. I really am struggle to say his name because I always immediately my mind goes Hui, but he's going by Hotuk on the show. He was the main vocal for the Love Me Right K group, and Jay would be his competition, taking on the main vocal part for G group after giving up his killing part to Wimuti. Is that how you pronounce his name? But let's be honest, Jay was still the killing part. He gives expression, he gives face, he gives all of it. Performance time and backstory time, starting with Audrey Nice, G group, who had a lot of communication errors, as seen through Mnet's eyes, mainly by Kong. Overall, they did an okay job. K group, the conflict was all about Moon Junghyun, who was assigned to sing some very high parts. Audrey Nice is a high fucking song, y'all, which you couldn't really do. Some parts are just not in your range, and that's fine. Find what works for you, but in the end, he was stuck with that part. That was probably too high for his range, and it showed in the practices as well as the actual performance, but his expressions gave. But K group was the overall winner thanks to their main vocal, Yoo Sung-on. I felt a little bad for the G group and how their individual votes were so little compared to the K group counterparts. Yoo Sung-on demolished them. He had like 248 or something. He sounded really good though. So I mean, vote. He sounded like he deserved that vote. Okay. Kill This Love. Keita really put together a strong ass team, and it showed. Everyone covered their parts to a T. Their only little main issue was Min wanted more parts, so Keita gave him some of his, but then the mentors were like, no, that's not how it's gonna happen. So that was that. Sok Matthew also felt like he didn't have enough parts to showcase his talents, but in the end, he really did showcase what he needed to showcase. So it was good. It was good. I loved their performance. They left no crumbs, and I really loved the part when they like smeared the lipstick on their faces. That was dope. K group, on the other hand, had less members, and I'm talking about them more because we feel like we've seen more of them than we did any other group in the show right now. And Ihwani was seen as the one that needed the most work. He was nervous to dance alone. Once again, we were seen with Park Gunuk taking charge, even though he wasn't the leader, Hwani was. And he was basically the star of the performance and the team, and the only one who got an ending fairy because the rest were on the floor. Did somebody tell him to craft the performance to really highlight him, or was it really how it turned out? Either way, I, as a viewer felt myself getting annoyed. So I don't want it to seem like I'm ragging on Park Gunuk, but the way Mnet was airing him in this episode really was getting on my nerves because I don't feel like they were showing him in a great light. Anyways, G Group won, and I feel like they really deserved it. Overall, it was a better performance to watch and had me more excited than the K Groups, which was also very good. I liked their energy. The rapper for the K Group, I really liked his little tone. They were both good performances. Neither one was like bad, okay? The last performance for the episode started with Love Me Right's G Group going first, and let me tell you, did the damn thing. From jump, it was seen in the practices that they were all prepared. They were ready to perform. Haruto with the rap. I love the tone of his voice and the way he delivered his legendary Shorty I'ma Party Till the Sundown, Sehun, Ode to Sehun. He's definitely a well-rounded, honed his craft rapper. Jay with the vocal. Jay with the freaking vocal. He did the damn thing. He did the damn thing. He continues to do the damn thing each and every episode. And if we're talking about pure talent, he has it. And he has it all. Like, flowers for Jay. Flowers for Jay. Jay is definitely incredible, okay? And to all you antis that I've been seeing on Twitter, you must really be sad with your lives that you're still willing to hate on this boy, even though he's one of the most talented trainees on this show. End of discussion. Argue with your faves, don't argue with me. Like, I'm not gonna get into the threads because I kind of talked about it last week. Either way, you're gonna like who you're gonna like. You're gonna blindly hate who you don't like. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone can really discredit that this man can sing, and when he dances, he is stale. Like, he would be like straight line. There was like no waver in his voice when he was dancing and singing. So like, get into him. G Group's performance was great. I loved every second of it. So good. Expressions off the hazy. K Group is the cliffhanger. Duh. Now from the little sneak peek, Sung Han Bin killed it with the facial expressions on the intro. He did like a little lip bite, and then he did a little one of these like look off to the side moments, and I was like, oh, I felt it, okay? Hotek Hui is trying to change Kyungsoo's legendary high note in the bridge, and we shall see how that goes. He felt like he had to do that because he was up against Jay, who was just nailed that part to a T. K Group was definitely favored in the airtime. It felt like probably because of Sung Han Bin being a part of the team, because he is the most popular person on the show at the moment. My hunch, not a fact. Next week, it looks like anything can happen. Ricky was seen in one of the bits of the preview, and he looked like he was doing something that needed to be done. We shall see how this all plays out. My top 9 that I've been voting for, let's talk about it. It's slightly shifted since the last time. I'm still voting for Jay. I think he is funny when he expresses himself in the reactions. It's always giving. And he's a great performer. So, Jay. Keita, he can rap, he can sing, he can dance, he does all of that. And I love it. E-Doll, I don't care what you guys think. I still like him. I'm excited to see what he does with Danger. It's a little crazy, but we'll see. Kim Ji-young, who I watched Kissable Lips one night, and I fell in love with him even more. Oh yes, Kim Ji-young. I'm very excited to watch him perform next week. This week, Song Han Bin. I still love me some Song Han Bin, and I was voting for Han Yujin this past week, but I think I will start. Oh well, the voting ends in 2 days. Let's not act like that. And 52 trainees will be gone. I'm nervous, y'all. Wait. Oh. Wait, okay. 2 days the votes end. So, how are we gonna work this out? Because, like, we have a lot of performances to get through, and are we gonna start the voting then, the eliminations then? The voting ends in that time, and by then we're gonna know who probably got the cut. So I'm very confused. Or we're not gonna know because they're probably gonna stop the voting for a little period of time before we see the elimination episode. I don't really understand what's gonna happen, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, I was thinking about that. That was off my script. Anyways, I was voting for Han Yujin, but if we get to continue voting for 9 people moving forward with the remaining 52, I would like to start voting for Jong Hao in his place. I also have been voting for Sok Matthew. He deserves every vote. This boy is doing things. Sowon, I'm intrigued. I want to see more of him. Lee Sung-won, I might have to start voting for Haruto though. But for now, I like someone to keep voting. We'll see what happens. I'm a little nervous, but we'll see. Anyways, that was my thoughts for episode 3. A very fun episode, a very stressful episode, a very feeling-evoking episode. Okay, so episode 4, we have Love Me Right K-Group, Backdoor, Danger, Burn It Up. That's it, right? Yep. Oh, and Hot Sauce. So I think we're not gonna... Eliminations will be in episode 5. Okay. We're gonna be down to 52 trainees. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but we'll see. Oh, anyways, what were your thoughts? What were your opinions? I'm sorry this was so late. Oops. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Love or die, 넌 날 멈춰가, but I don't mind. 좋은데 아파, don't die.